Hello! Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. What's up? I'm Lady Calamere, and I welcome you to my channel. I am doing my 351st presentation, and it will be on Andraste, Celtic goddess. So, before I want to go on, November 16th of 2020 was my very first video on YouTube. I've been teaching on YouTube for 5 years, but I've been teaching for a lot longer. I began on this path in 1983, and probably right in the early 1990s, maybe 1992, I began to teach. On and off, I began to teach. And I am still teaching. So, Andraste, who is she? First, let's go look at this card. It looks like she's riding a horse, but she's not. This is the back. It comes from this beautiful deck. Celtic Goddesses, Witches and Queens. Oracle by Dan New Forest and Dan Goodfellow. So, Andraste. She is Andraste or Andraste, however you want to say it. She is a powerful warrior goddess. Her name means invincible. Her name means unconquerable. She is the goddess of the Iceni tribe, which was and is ancient Britain, which this part of Britain is called Norfolk. So she has possible connections to the Gaulish goddess Andarta, and which means a very powerful bear, And she also resembles the Irish Morrigan, the great queen. Andraste is a warrior goddess, but she's also a sovereign queen goddess. So for what I call the maiden warrior mother grown sovereign queen, I would put her on the maiden goddess. I'm sorry, not maiden goddess, the warrior goddess. Sorry, the warrior goddess. Skip that. The warrior goddess and the sovereign queen goddess. Andraste, I'm having problems with my. So, okay, I think I fixed it. So she was invoked for battle, for victory in wars and battles. She's connected with Boudica, which the Romans called Boadicea. And she was called by Boudica for the fact that the emperor ordered her two princesses, her daughters, to be sexually assaulted. And that was to guarantee that they're damaged and that they're not going to be married. And they humiliated Boudica by flogging her. So she called upon Andraste to get them the hell out of their lands. And she almost won. She almost won. So, but she left her mark. She the Roman writers wrote bad things about Boudica and what they did, and of course that Andraste was worshipped in barbaric ways. Of course, that's the way, you know. Dio Cassius was the one who was a very biased writer and reporter, and he was born way after the events of Boudica's revolt and kicking Roman ass. But he said that Boudica's worship was similar to that of Dionysian spirituality, and that wasn't meant to be a compliment. It was meant to sound like crazy females that are not controlled by their men, revelry, debauchery, barbarism, craziness, insanity. And it was meant to be an insult. And said that the woman that worshipped Dionysius were like the woman who worshipped Andraste, that were bloodthirsty and nuts. And not controlled by their men, of course. And he described what Boudica's people did. But of course, nothing bad what the Romans did to the Celtics. Oh, of course not. So they were the colonizers, and the Celts were just fighting back. And I'm not saying the Romans didn't benefit where they came. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what happened, the results of what happened to Boudica's daughter and what happened to Boudica was the straw that broke the camel's back. And she is a woman, which, of course, almost patriarchal, called upon Andraste, woman to woman, hear me. She releases a hare, which is one of the goddess's animals. And as she marched through the lands, she gathered more people, some some warriors, some simple folk, some people that worked the land. They were all sick of it. And they would go walking behind her, chanting her name, Boudica, Boudica, Boudica. And she burnt down the encampments of Romans. She slaughtered them. She destroyed their temples. Yeah, she gained her notoriety, and she will live. Her name will live on forever. She was a British warrior queen who worshipped Andraste. Andraste. So a lot has been lost, but Andraste is coming back. Her animals are dealing with the raven and the hare. Her colors are red as well as black. She is a goddess of feminine power. She is the goddess that will help men and women rise to fight against tyranny, to fight against injustice, to have victory in your own right. One of the things that a sacred place to Andraste is a grove that she makes the grove fertile, and she was venerated in groves. So the where can you find her? Where can you seek her out? Well, grove is the best way to start. Andraste is about rebellion against what is not right. So let's read a little bit from this card. The Celtic Goddesses, Witches, and Queens Oracle. You can find it on eBay, Amazon, bookstore, local code store. What do you want to say about to Andraste? What do you want to say, little Bo? Because apparently you're meowing. So here is a little bit. I'll read a little bit. Andraste, meaning unconquerable or invincible, was the goddess of the Iceni tribe in eastern Britain, now Norfolk, during the Iron Age and early Roman era, 1st century BCE. So we'll just skip. She is said to have been invoked by the Iceni queen Boudica, who called upon her as woman speaking to woman to assist in the Iceni revolt against the Romans after their violent mistreatment. So we'll skip. I don't want to read the whole thing. There is another aspect to Andraste if we consider the meaning of her name, unconquerable, as something inviolate, something that cannot be taken or conquered by another. This way of looking at Andraste suggests she may be seen as overseeing our wholeness and integrity, the sovereignty of the human spirit which cannot be conquered so long as hope survives. In this way, she may represent ideas about endurance and other timeless ideas, such as justice, truth, and the power of nature, of time, and of fate. A good list of things to call upon when facing the devastation and violation of invasion and the subjugation of your people and the way of life. To remember that some things are unconquerable, that no matter what, when faced with insurmountable odds, something will always endure and survive, and that to run like a hare into the long grass by the light of the moon to see another day is essential in times of great trouble and despair. So let's look at the divinatory meaning of this beautiful card. And by the way, this is just a generic statue of the goddess. Sometimes the forces of destruction around us are overwhelming, and waves of the most difficult challenges, injustice, hate, and violence, even war, seem to have most infinite power compared to the forces of peace and goodness. There is no easy answer, and we may find ourselves tempted to look away from the horrors of the world. But no matter what, the beauty of simple things, the cycles of nature and of the world still turn. There will always be another dawn, and human kindness has always endured and will continue. Accept the destructive forces present at this time, but seek to place your focus on longer term. Hold on to your integrity and let simple daily act of goodness and kindness be your signpost into a better time. So there's also a prayer here. Andraste, I speak to you as woman or man or person to woman, here as I am right now. Help me find what is unconquerable within me and help me know which way to go to keep my wholeness and integrity, that I may walk with honor through all challenges. Oh, yes, this goddess will help you keep your honor. And as so much has been lost, we can try to resalvage and regain what we know about this goddess. So she is very fierce. She is a warrior. Is she approachable? Remember, she is a bloodthirst. She is a kick-ass bloodthirsty warrior. Approach her with respect and honor. Approach her with dignity, like Lady Boss. She just sits on a card. But she's a cat, so she can do what she wants. So she is a goddess. If you are having problems with fear, she can give you courage. If you are problems that you stand up, she will help you stand up. You will not break my statue. I've had that for too long. So she is a goddess of leadership, of taking the reins of power, to become power and know the power is within you. So, like I said, she deals with the hare, Hare, and raven. She deals with the cycle of life, war, death, and rebirth. She deals with the grove, with the land, and the fur, and the continuation of the land, especially groves. Andraste was shown with a wheel. That represents again life and death and rebirth. But also the wheel is that of travel, moving, continuing on. And it's also a symbol of destiny and that of fortune. Associated her to grant sovereignty. She grants sovereignty. Andraste is a cunning goddess. She knows how to outmaneuver her enemies, but she also knows when to fight for another day. But also, she also knows that of battle readiness and to go out in to go out with a blaze of glory, win in war. According to the Roman history, Tacitus, Boudica, the warrior queen of Iceni, again called upon this goddess. But she was ultimately defeated. But she didn't go out without a fight. And she didn't go out like a bitch, now did she? She went out with glory, able to resist Roman rule. She is the goddess to invoke power, to ensure that you rule yourself, rule your home with dignity, to rule your life. This life is yours. Take it. Don't give over your glory. Don't let people use you as a walking mat. Walking mats get filthy and dirty and stepped on. Why should you be a walking mat when you can be a symbol of power and glory to take what is rightfully yours? So, she can teach you strategy and agility. She's also the hare itself, Hare. We're not talking about rabbits, different from a rabbit. The hare itself, did you know, played a role in divination. And this also shows her mystical presence in the battlefield and in war. So I don't know her family origins. S- From what I can't find her family origins. Again, she's more of a spiritual war goddess, a Xena warrior princess with, and she's seen with fiery red hair. One of our other colors you can also use green to represent her as the grove. And Roman goddess, she would be tied to Bellona. And I've done a presentation on her, as well as the Morrigan. So, when you have been wronged and you want to set it right, call upon her. When you have to fight, physically or metaphorically speaking, literally or figuratively, call upon her. She is feminine power, resilient. She is unyielding. She is mysterious. And that of the power of resistance. Andraste was also not only a feared goddess, a loved goddess, and a powerful goddess among the Iceni people. So, black and red stones are good for her, black and red candles. And when you think about stones, stones that were used for her were black tourmaline and garnets. And yes, uh, we can use in this day black tourmaline and garnets. But I also like for incense for her would be that of woodsy incense. Very woodsy smelling, but also dragon's blood resin is great for her, and dragon's blood liquid resin. And the scent is great. So when you think about her, when you think about woods and stuff like patchouli with pine and fir, and the fur of not fur from animals, but like balsam and cypress. Wonderful mix for her. So she was worshipped in the Epping Forest, Epping. So I'm originally from New York. I didn't want you to think I was saying the fucking forest or the effing forest. Epping Forest. Yeah, I had to draw a little comedy. So yeah, I'm originally from Queens, New York. The emperor that was savage to Boudica was Emperor Nero. I almost forgot his. I was trying. Yep, it was It was good old crazy Nero. Uh, it was actually Caligula was the craziest, sorry, but it was Nero. He almost withdrew his forces from Britain, and it was kind of an insult that a woman led forces to kick his ass. So, yeah, she did more than give him a black eye. But he did order her daughters to be sexually assaulted, and from the stories, her to be hurt, flogged. So, what mother is really going to put up with that? And she also had to think about her people. Nero wasn't being, he was being brutal to the people. A lot of shit happened there. Well, of course, it's Boudica who is a savage, right? Hell no, hell Boudica, right? So, weapons like knives, sword, the spear, great for her, arrowheads, arrows, modern days bullets, gunpowder, guns, and any weapons, anything dealing with war. Toy soldiers, woman GI dolls. I mean, GI too. And, well, GI Joe, GI Joe, GI Joes. Do they still make them? I'm sure they do. So we can offer her good, strong grain alcohol, red wine to represent blood, or red grape juice if you don't use wine. Offer her some Celtic dishes, and chocolate is wonderful. You know, if you're making some chicken, offer her some. Give her something, and something from your land. That you can even dedicate a plant to her. If you're growing a little plant, doesn't matter. It could be just a humble little plant. You can dedicate it to her. Give her some red and black stones. Give her some black tourmalines and red garnets. Be they raw or cut. Do divinations with this goddess. Use your oracle and tarot. Use your pendulum, or use your scrying and psychic ability. For yes, she is a goddess of divination. She is goddess of the land. So she, like I said, Andraste was worshipped by the Volcan, the Volcanti people of Gaul. So she was compared to, it sounds just almost the same. Andraste. Now then someone could say, oh, it sounds like Andraste sounds like Astarte. I'm not going there, but yeah, she has been compared to Andraste, the Gaulish goddess. So she was also known as Andred, Andred. So her Romanized version of her name is Andraste. So if you really want to go back to her name, Andred, Andred, and you can remember it as two words put together, and red, Andred. Andraste is good. Andred is great. It's good, both good. She who has not fallen. It's another meaning of her name. She who has not fallen. So, what else? I've been talking about 30 minutes about this goddess. Wow. Only feels like 15, right? So, another goddess of victory among the Greeks is Nike, which is people pronounce wrongfully because of the shoes, Nike, Nike, but it's Nikki, which literally means victory herself, who is also a goddess of war and victory. Nikki is so great that even Athena holds her, even Zeus, the king of the gods, Zeus, holds her in his hand. So we can compare, not saying the same, compare Andraste with Nikki, the, who means victory, her victory. So, another thing is that she is seen sometimes portrayed, this goddess Andred is portrayed alongside a chariot. This connects her with victory and warfare and martial prowess and powers. So now I also, in my research with her, came across another animal that was associated with her other than ravens and hare. And I didn't want to bring it up right away because I'm not sure, but it's a hawk. But that's one of the other things that came up with her animals. But generally, it's seen as the raven and the hare, not a bunny rabbit. What else? One can visualize themselves in a sacred grove and just believe in your visualization you are in a sacred grove and call upon this goddess day or night. I do know in popular culture this goddess has been depicted in films and games, video games. I'm not sure if she's in the God of War. I don't play it, so if you can hit me on the comments with that and let me know what games. I know games and films, so I'm just not sure which one. I know she was in the biography of Boudica. And Boudica was actually seen in Xena, Warrior the Princess. And they did 2 episodes with her where she was called Boadicea, but that was her Roman name of Boudica. Boudica is her name. So she, like I said, Andraste is strength, resilience, power, taking what is yours, taking back what is yours, and to show your dominance and strength and let people know who the hell they are fucking with. Don't mess with me, buddy. Fuck around and find out. You see? Of claiming your own power and telling others Leave me the fuck alone if you don't want to be bothered. And standing your ground and boundaries. And to say no means no. Come on, boo. Lady Boss, you're not breaking my statue. So, anyways, I do hope you liked my presentation. If you did, please like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Because if I get enough subscribers, I can start monetizing my channel and it will still be free to you. And it's just I'll finally make some money. I haven't made money on this in 5 years. And if you see me and you know who I am, then hey, give me a few dollars. I'll take it. I'll love it. Take me out to dinner. I don't care. If that's what, take me out for lunch. Take me out for dinner. Take me out for coffee. I'll accept. Otherwise, I do these for free. For the love of what I do. Because I'm a teacher. For the love of the people that want to learn. And for the love of my deities. And of my craft. I am serious about what I do. So spread the word of my channel. And spread the word of this video. Do good to others. Help others right now during times of insecurity. Be good, be generous, even if it's just a bag of pasta, it could mean the world to someone, or a can of soup. So be cool to each other, be cool to yourself. Not cruel, but be cool. Be cool. Love yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Watch out for each other. Okay? We're all in this together. Okay? And as always, blessed be.